All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another live stream. Maybe, could be, possibly. Let's see, dudes. So, oh man, so hot one out today, guys. I just got finished cutting the grass. So let's see if we can get a few people to join. And the topic for this one will be The Walking Dead's top 10 greatest walker killers or zombie killers. And there is a new episode of Walking Dead tonight. Hey, Alken, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Let me know if you can hear me okay. We got Eric. What's up, Eric? How you doing, man? Yeah, that's right. I'll have to see. It's storming out now because it was hot earlier, so we'll see if the stream can hold itself up. Well, thank you, man. I do appreciate it. And so for this one, we did get a new sort of poll, and this one is from IGN.com, which is pretty cool. And this is they did I think a fan voted face-off, which is pretty sweet. I guess about a week ago or so. And so they had people vote on who they thought were the best walker killers in The Walking Dead. So I kind of read this as like a greatest characters list, like top 10 best characters of Walking Dead, sort of. Maybe not exactly, because the characters that are the best at killing zombies are not necessarily the best characters in the show, but certainly, which ones are the best at killing zombies from, the perspective of the audience, are going to be some of your best characters in the show. So I kind of read this almost as a best characters type of list, but it's pretty cool to see how people voted, and not really surprising to me at this point. But Daryl was voted number one for The Walking Dead's greatest zombie killer, or The Walking Dead's greatest walker killer, if you want to use the language of the Walking Dead universe. In that the idea of zombies doesn't exist in their universe. So Daryl wins number one 96.7% of the time, and that's what people thought. So they do have a kind of a breakdown here that you can go through, and I'll put the link in the description for this one afterwards, of who are the top 10 best walker killers in Walking Dead. So number one, fans voted for Daryl as number one, the greatest walker killer in The Walking Dead. And this pretty much will probably stay the same through to the end of the series, right? Like, we're in our last season of Walking Dead. I can't really imagine it changing much now. So it's kind of where it is. But let's see what you guys think, and if you guys agree with the list, or if you disagree with our top 10, with IGN's top 10 greatest walker killers. So number one, the greatest walker killer in The Walking Dead, Daryl. Now, had Rick have stayed, it might have been a little bit different. But even when they did like a Daryl versus Rick scenario in The Walking Dead, I felt like it sort of felt like Daryl kind of got the best of Rick in those little fights. Like, if you guys remember in season 8, I think it was, before Rick left and everything, during all that war, there's a part where Daryl and Rick get into a little fight or what have you, and it kind of feels like Daryl sort of beats him, kinda, in some ways anyway. There's the part in season 9 where it feels like, they kind of have a fight before Rick leaves, if you guys remember. So thank you for the super chat there, A-Dog. Thanks for your support. He just said, love the videos, bro. So thank you, brother. Appreciate A-Dog, and if you have any questions you want to send through or anything, I can highlight them. Thank you for your support. So when Daryl and Rick throw down, it doesn't feel like to me that, because you probably think that your lead good guy kind of always wins. I sort of think of like the Daryl versus Rick situation as maybe most similar to like X-Men. If you guys have ever read X-Men comics or you've seen X-Men, even the movies, TV series, all the X-Men stuff, it's kind of like the leader of the X-Men is supposed to be Cyclops, who would be like Rick in this case. But Wolverine sort of, it's pretty obvious to everyone that Wolverine could kick Cyclops' ass, right? I think in the animated series there's a part where Wolverine like punches Cyclops in the stomach and steals his car. I think he says, "Tell Scott I made him a convertible," because Wolverine like cuts the top of the car off and then goes for a drive. This is like 90s X-Men, if you guys have seen like X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. But I kind of would compare Daryl versus Rick to like Cyclops and Wolverine. So even though Rick was kind of in charge of the group throughout the series up until season 9 when he left, it kind of feels like, even though that's the case, everybody sort of understands that Daryl is kind of tougher than Rick. Can we say that without people getting angry? And I do love Rick too. I'm not trying to say I don't like Rick. I love Rick. Rick's awesome, right? But Andrew Lincoln, I want to thank him for all his years of service for Walking Dead and everything, and hope to see that movie. It should be great. But it kind of feels like to me, especially after Daryl beats Beta in the last couple seasons and the way things played out, Daryl is basically your Wolverine for Walking Dead, I think. If this is X-Men, then Daryl is your Wolverine. I would say. So yeah, Daryl's tougher. So LD just said it. Thanks again, A-Dog. It's what it is. Abraham's tough too, Kidman. That's true. So let's see the list here, what we got. So we got number 1, the best Walker killer, fans voted as Daryl. Number 2, they voted as Rick. Well, I kind of feel like they voted Rick as the best Walker killer, second best Walker killer, because he's Rick, because he's the forefront lead character. Granted, I mean, he is very good at killing walkers too. I also wonder who has killed the most. I think Daryl has at this point, has the most Walker kills, and I think he also has the most screen time now since Rick has left a couple years ago. So it really looks like by the time The Walking Dead wrapped up, you do, just by necessity of him staying and just how the scenes played out and the story played out, Daryl kind of pulling to the forefront as your lead, greatest Walking Dead character. Because people always remember the end, right? Like that's what, when the series is over, people look back on it, they're going to think like Daryl was the, unless those movies come out really strong and they're really awesome. So number 1, the best Walker killer, Daryl. Number 2, Rick. Number 3, Michonne. Well, Michonne she's the highest female zombie killer on the list. Well, that makes sense to me that Michonne would be one of the best zombie killers in The Walking Dead and the highest ranked female. I mean, with her katana and everything. She also kills the governor as well. So we got to remember that too. There is a scene where she takes Rick down also. She what does she do? Hit him with a rock or something? In Alexandria, she hits him with a rock, knocks him out or whatever. So she's definitely very tough. And can we say she's the toughest female in Walking Dead? Yeah, I think that's probably fair, right? Because after Rick leaves as well, she almost becomes like the leader of Alexandria, and she's pretty strict. Like if you guys remember those episodes, like when they meet new survivors and stuff, she doesn't just let them in. She wants to screen them. She's all big on secrecy and not letting people know they're there. She's almost more strict than Rick is. Or maybe Daryl is too, even though Daryl kind of likes to do his own kind of thing. So Michonne, the third best Walker killer, the highest female in The Walking Dead for killing zombies. Number 4 was voted as Carol, which, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. Yes, Carol is very good at killing zombies too, and has killed a lot. And she's just very crafty. I think of Carol as maybe the most crafty Walking Dead character. She's the most cunning, right? So if you look at the Whisperers, if you look at everything else, Carol is she's the most cunning of all the characters, even the males and females. She's the one you got to watch out for in the background, because she'll send Negan after you, or she'll beat you other ways that you might not expect. She'll climb in the ceiling and shoot you from in the ceiling, stuff like that. So pretty cool. So they put her at 4. Fans voted her as the 4th best zombie killer. The 5th being Morgan, which actually, I'm happy he's there. I'm surprised he isn't actually lower, because after he left from The Walking Dead to go to Fear, you wouldn't expect fans to really vote for him as much, because he switched series. That's all. But I mean, he is one of the best zombie killers. I might put him higher than Carol, maybe. Personally, Would I put him higher than Michonne? I don't know. That's a tough one. Morgan versus Michonne would be tricky. I don't know. I guess it's a toss-up. It could probably go either way there. But I'm glad he's on there. Then at number 6, we have Negan. Depends what weapon he has, right? Like if Negan has Lucille, if he has a bat or even a crowbar, then he's going to be good to go, right? So I hope at some point he like finds a bat in The Walking Dead before it ends, before the last episode. I hope he's got his crowbar, but then like maybe he loses his crowbar or something, and then he finds like a bat, and then Maggie sees him swing the bat. I think that'd be really fun. So we'll see if they do that before the season's over. It just feels like there's a pull towards it. Like it feels like it's a natural thing for them to do is have Negan find a bat. Doesn't have to be. It should be wooden, but you could do aluminum too. And have them start killing walkers and have Maggie look over. They've kind of done it already with the crowbar a little bit. And it's like a traumatic... It seems like to me, it's kind of a traumatic experience for Maggie to watch Negan kill walkers, right? It's traumatic for Maggie to watch Negan bash walkers' heads in with anything. If it's a crowbar or a bat or anything. But if it's a bat, it's even worse. So they got Negan at number 6. They got Maggie at number 7. Most likely because she came back, right? Like that's probably why she was on the list. If she would have left and never came back, I tend to think she probably wouldn't be on the list. But she's back, and I kind of feel like so far for season 11, I won't spoil anything because I know there's a new episode coming up in 10 minutes. So you guys are probably going to a lot of you guys are going to watch the second episode. But I feel like so far for The Walking Dead season 11, I feel like Maggie's kind of the lead character. You know what I mean? Like if there's one lead character for season 11 so far, it's got to be Maggie because a lot of the episodes kind of focus around her. She's like the leader of the group that goes out. So yeah, so I do think that it makes sense for them to put her on there. Number 7, number 8, they got Glenn, which is cool that people still remember Glenn. It's kind of surprising to me that he's so high on the list because he hasn't been in the show for 5 years now, since season 7. However many years ago that was at this point. A while ago, man, a long time ago. So, but he's on there, and it's good to see him there. And then number 9 is Abraham. It's behind my screen here, but that's Abraham right there. Number 9 right here. And then number 10, they've got Shane as the 10th best zombie killer, which these are fine. You could put Governor in here somewhere, maybe. I might switch around a few of these, but it's a pretty good list, not bad, and it's fan voted, so is what it is. It says here, Michonne, who is no longer a regular and may appear in the Rick Grimes film, came in 3rd place, so it just kind of goes through the ratings. Oh, they do go higher than that, I guess. If you want to go further than that, they've got like Gage, they've got Mika, they've got Sam. These are like the worst ones, right? Well, that makes sense. Pete, yeah. Sophia, yeah. Well, what are you going to do for Sophia? Like that's kind of, what it is. Gregory, Nicholas, yeah. Thank you. Stuff like that. So they got a full list there too if you want to see it. Looks like they rated 102 Walking Dead characters. So that's a lot. Anyway, well, I guess we won't go through all 102. A full checklist. Let's see this. Is this crazy? So we got, okay, so it's a scroll down. So it's not too bad. Maybe we'll take a quick look and then we'll go to your guys' comments here in a minute. So we went all over all these. Daryl, Rick, Michonne. Is it going to work on my streaming software? Maybe not. Okay, there it goes. It's just loading, guys. Morgan, Negan, Maggie, Glenn, Abraham, Shane. Okay, they got Carl after that. So he's number 11. Ezekiel, Sasha. Jesus is 14. Somebody said Jesus earlier. So he's number 14. So he is up there pretty good. Merle, yeah, he should be up there. Rosita's on there. Okay, here's the governor. He's number 17. Jerry somehow got on here. I don't know. I don't know how Jerry made it on there. Aaron, that makes sense to me. And then we got like Tyrese, Beta. Yeah, Beta should be up there pretty high too. He's tough. Dwight, Elijah, who's brand new. But I guess maybe because he's new, they just kind of put him on there. I wouldn't put him up that high because he's young and stuff. And he looks badass with the gear on. But when it comes off, he doesn't look that badass. Simon, Yumiko, Andrea, Judith. Okay, so Diane, Tara, Gabriel, Alpha. So, and then you can go on higher and higher. And they got a bunch here. So these were all voted. Quite a few votes, I think. So it's kind of cool. So you can take a look through if you guys want. All right, let's go to some of your guys. Alden's on here. That's good because he's got some time this season. Yeah, Merle's up there, Red October. He's what number they got Merle? What number's Merle? Let me see. Merle. Yeah, he's 15. So that's pretty good. And then Jesus 14, Sasha and the others. Carl. Yeah, that's cool. Carl. So good stuff. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't know. See, Benny wants to hang on until after the new episode is over. I don't know, man. It depends. Like, I don't like to just sit here with the camera on without anything for you guys, or at least discussing anything. Because I just feel like it's kind of a waste. So we'll see how long we go for. But you can definitely watch it back after if you want to. And if you have any questions, you can send them through ahead of time. Thanks, Leslie Tanashi, for waiting for the live stream. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I saw your comment. You said you were excited for the live stream, so I decided, all right, well, let's go ahead and do one. I had to delete last week's live stream, or at least I just set it to private for now. I got in trouble for it, because not for Walking Dead stuff, but because people started talking about this, and then I was like, so I responded a little bit, and then I got in trouble, and I had to set it to private. I started getting phone calls, and I had to remove it. So I was like, oh damn it, can't I just make a damn stream without you guys harassing me? It's like, oh well, what can you do? So if you were watching last week's live stream, I had to take it down, unfortunately. Oh well. Okay, let's go into some of your guys' comments. UTC, how you doing, man? We got Lloyd Bonafide, who says Tyrese should be on the list for just killing that crowd of zombies alone. Yeah, he was good at it, that's for sure. He is. So what number is Tyrese on here? Let's see. He's 20. So they got Tyrese at number 20 there. So that's pretty high, considering he hasn't been in the series since like season 4. So that's a long time, man. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else he said. Eric said, what's your thoughts on how Biden has been handling things since becoming U.S. president? I don't really think much for Eric. I don't think much of U.S. presidency. I don't think much of presidents. I just think that they're basically there to give you, they're pretty much there to give you speeches and whatnot. That's about it. And that's their job. But they have a job description. Now, I think he's done the speech promo where he says, what did Biden say? He's like, I am the president and the buck stops with me. It's like, I don't even think the buck starts with you, as a matter of fact, does it? At least not if it's above GDP. I don't think it starts with you, as a matter of fact. I don't think you created it either. Susan Young says Biden should be impeached. People are pissed. Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff on the news, man, about that with Afghanistan and everything. It's pretty crazy stuff, man. What's going on over there? I don't know what they're like. I have no idea what the hell they're doing, or if they just like don't care anymore for whatever reason. But there's a lot of money there, so I don't know why they would give all that up, considering. I think a lot of the opium comes from there. There's a lot of minerals. There's a lot of natural resources there that are worth trillions and trillions of dollars. So I don't know why they would give up, give it up as a territory. I don't know why they would give it over, hand it over. But maybe the people there fought back, and they're kind of calling them all the Taliban. But I don't know. You try to make sense of that stuff. It's just absolute chaos as far as I'm concerned. You try to make sense of what the hell's going on there. Like, when it comes to the Middle East, it's always chaos. Like, you could spend years of your life trying to understand who's who, trying to understand who's being funded by where and what the motives are for certain parties versus other parties, what corporations are involved, what countries are involved. You could spend years of your life trying to figure out what's the big picture of what's actually happening there. And you could probably, if you got a good IQ, like probably at least 120, 130 at least. Maybe after like 4 or 5 years, you can figure it out, like what's happening here, where are the, what are the agendas, where do interests lie, what's best for who, and who are the key players. And you could probably get it, but it would take you like 4 or 5 years. Unfortunately, other people, if they looked at it, they might spend even longer than that and still not kind of get it or not kind of figure out. Like the people who say that, like the people who think like we're there to help them. It's like, oh, never mind, forget it. There's no hope, dudes. there's no hope for any of us. Is that a Walking Dead line? Is that what Rick says to? No, that's what Herschel says, right? He goes, "There's no hope for any of us," and you know it now. It's like, oh, darn it. It's not the most optimistic view, but I don't know how much I want to say about all that stuff that's going on over there. It's always been a mess. It is a mess. It's what it is. But that's probably by design, that it's supposed to sort of be a mess. It's kind of what it is. But anyway, I don't want to say too much about it. Okay, let's move on to Walking Dead. What did you say here? Jack says, Jesus single-handedly took down Daryl and Rick initially. LOL, this list is pretty flawed. Well, that's true that Jesus did mess him up a little bit. But once Daryl got a hold of him, he was able to stop him. But I do agree with you that, I feel like in that scene, when he kind of he sort of bests Daryl, but he kind of does it in like, kind of a tricky way. Like he kind of out-tricks Daryl. And eventually when Daryl gets a hold of him, then it's over. Like, it's one of those type of situations. Once the big guy gets a hold of him, that's it. It's done, right? So, let's see. What else did you guys say? Abraham was on the list for Kidman. We saw that one. So he is really tough, that's for sure. Chris, I know. I like Rick too. And, it's going to be good to see the movie when they eventually, release it. Jimmy Rooks says Susan Young impeached and convicted. And since they don't respect constitutional limits, charged in civil courts. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff going on like there with that. The other thing too is that it's assuming, like from the news angle, it's assuming that there aren't any workable elements to it, or there isn't anything intentional going on about it. But the fact of the matter is, when you have bases all over the world and you're in so many different countries, you have so much stuff going on, and you have to worry about what's happening in your own country, and whether or not people are going to listen, and whether or not they're going to do what you tell them to do, whether or not you gotta bring in ID passports, or you gotta start restricting stuff as they're doing right in certain places in the States. Maybe it's just the amount of responsibility that they have and the amount of things they have going on. It's just something that happened. Maybe they didn't expect. They didn't expect for them to do it, and they went for it, and it worked. It sounds like. Well, I think they certainly have the numbers. I don't think there's that many troops there, so it could get outnumbered fairly easily. And I think a lot of the Afghan soldiers, or a lot of the guys over there, are all doped up. Like they're all on drugs. They're all drugged out. So I don't know if you guys seen that. That's been covered on some of the different news programs that a lot of them are doped. So I guess it's that's where a lot of the drugs come from anyway, where a lot of them start with, opiates and such. So it's it's maybe I don't know what the percentages are. I don't know enough about it. But if a lot of them are doped up, then that could be a reason why they just don't even know where they are, what's going on, what's happening, and it's not easy to keep control if all your people are doped out, right? So. All right, let's see. So Jack says the governor also needs to be in here. Yep, well, he's on there. What did we say governor was? What number was he? Tyrese is 20. Governor, wasn't he pretty high? Yeah, so he's 18. Or no, 17. So he's pretty high on the list. Hey, Josh, how you doing, man? How's it going? And Brett, D, how you doing, man? Chris R says, imagine seeing season 1 Carol and someone tells you she's the top 5 killer on the show. Yeah, that's true. Well, they almost did kill her off in the show there, Chris. They almost killed her off in season 3. But they changed their mind on it. They got talked out of it. And luckily, she's still in the show now and is awesome. I wonder if they ever considered killing Daryl off. Like if there was ever a season or an episode where they thought, hey, let's kill Daryl off maybe. But he's so good, if anybody had that thought, they were probably talked out of it pretty quickly. Because he's too good and everything. Plus, it seems like he really loves doing it. It seems like Norman Reedus loves the fans and everything. So, and he's also got the Ride with Norman Reedus show as well. So, they're not going to want to do that. They're also going to do other shows with him after that. There's a Western show that, based on a comic too, that Norman Reedus is going to be in after The Walking Dead ends. I think it's on AMC. I think AMC got it. So he's going to be in another show. He's going to be, I think, a lead for a Western series, which could be pretty cool. And then if they do the Daryl Carroll spinoff, that'll be good as well, too. Leslie said, Carroll's most epic moment was in Season 5 premiere, No Sanctuary. I agree with that. That was awesome. San Andres X said, Trev, who would win, Joe the Claimer or Merle? I think Merle would win. Merle would take that. J-Spot said, Carol, don't trust her around the household cleaners. Red October said, what about Merle Dixon? Yep, so we got him. He was on there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Josh UTC, do I read Stephen King? Not really UTC. I liked Under the Dome, the series, TV series. I like that one, Under the Dome. That was a good one. I reviewed that for years, Under the Dome, and that was based on Stephen King. There's also It, right? It's It the Clown. I think Raph likes Raph on YouTube. I'm friends with Raph. He collects a lot of the It. He's got like the best It collection in the world of figures and stuff. So Pennywise, that's the name of the thing. I'm not too familiar with it, but Pennywise, that's the name of the scary clown with the teeth, the satanic scary clown. But I'm not a huge Stephen King fan. No, I think he's okay, but I wouldn't go out and buy his novels or anything. Some of his movies are alright. They keep redoing them over and over again. They remake them, indefinitely. So, which isn't always a bad thing. I'm excited for the Ghostbusters movie. When's that coming out? I gotta check and see. Or is that already out? I have to. I'm out of the loop with a lot of stuff. Okay, let's see what else did you guys say here. LD says it's kind of stupid how they hold Burning Hilltop against him so much. He fired one arrow, and he had to. I'm trying to think of which one you mean here, LD, because we haven't seen the Hilltop this season. I wonder if they're even going to go back there ever, or if it's just going to be like, they'll never go back to Hilltop again in Walking Dead. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, let's see. R. Paras, does it give the number of Walker kills? I don't think so. I think it just has duels 1, or is the duels 1 maybe? Let me see here. Let's see. No, I think that's based on that's based on how it was voted, I think. So let's see. I'd have to find, I did have numbers for the number of zombie kills of each one. So who's last on the list, says Smasagar. Let's see, I'm not sure. Who is last on the list? Let's go down to the end. Okay, let's see. Can I go down? This webpage is weird. My page down is not working. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to go all the way down to see who is absolutely last on the list of Walker killers. Okay, there we go. It's Sam. Yeah. Well, I think that makes sense to a degree. And Pete, yeah, that makes sense. Just based on who they are. Yeah, I would put, Sam should be in last probably. And this guy, what's this guy's name? Jody? Is that the one? Does Carl kill him? I forget if Carl kills him. I think so. And Jackie, yeah, well, she should be down there too. Mika as well, yeah. And Gage as well, not very good. Gorman, right? That's funny. And Gunther, I like this guy. It's funny. Nicholas too, yeah, those are good. So yeah, there you go. It's Sam. He's very last. He's the worst Walker killer in the show. Fair enough, right? Okay, let's see. Josh said he's reading a book on the 300 very fast. The only question is, why didn't they kill Dr. Well, Josh, I'm pretty sure I think he's pretty much retired, but he doesn't talk anymore. Like, he doesn't say anything. If he's still alive, that is. I think he is alive, but he doesn't do any kind of anything. And I understand why. Because I had to take down a bunch of stuff too. Yeah, that's one we shouldn't really talk about. They actually really don't want people to know that one. That's a legit one. It's not like Aliens where you talk about all you want. That one is one they actually don't want people to know about. I'm certain of it. So yeah, he just doesn't do any interviews or anything, and he doesn't have a public profile, and that's a good way to be. If you have a public profile, yeah, there's certain topics are allowed, certain topics are not allowed. That's definitely not allowed. So yeah. No, they did threaten him. It's not that he didn't get threatened, Josh. He did. Everybody does. If you, it's just how it is. He did. He did get threatened. Doesn't say it in the foreword that he did. I'm pretty sure it does, or at least it alludes to something like that. Which is, that's what you would. If it's true, then that's what you would expect. And sure enough, that's what it is. So, okay, yeah, Vigor. I hear what you're saying, Vigor. Right, or you said it's not their country. It depends what you mean by that. Okay, let's see. Like, do the people who naturally come from somewhere, is it theirs, or if it's taken over by somebody else? Like, who? If you go might is right, then whoever takes it, it's theirs. It depends how you look at it. It depends how you want to look at it. That's up to you. Okay, let's see. Spencer's excited for episode 2, so that's fun. It should be on right now. JDev says that Biden is so ridiculous. It's funny. I like to watch some of the stuff, like when he forgets what he's doing, when he forgets what he's saying. Oh, I think Psaki also, Jen Psaki called it a pandemic this week. I don't know if you guys saw that. She slipped out totally. She was in like the White House, White House presser or whatever, and she was saying something, and then instead of saying pandemic, she said plandemic on accident. It was pretty funny. It's like they can't do anything right. It's pretty awesome. Cracks me up, man. LD, wow, Trav, I thought the TS19 virus would be over in a year, but they're really dragging this out, huh? Oh boy, are they ever. I'm thinking like 5 to 10 years. Yeah, 5 to 10 at least. I mean, dude, like, the thing is it's like, you do what works, right? If it works, then you're going to keep doing it. If it stops working, then, okay, maybe you stop doing it. But you don't, you go with what works. If something works for you, you just keep doing it. That'd be like if you want to take it to MMA or something. If you're in a match, and let's say, I don't know, who's got like a good trademark finisher or something. Like Alistair Overeem's knees or Brock Lesnar's takedowns. It's like if Alistair Overeem knees you and you go down, you lose, right? If he knees the shit out of you, like he often does, kicks their knees. He's got brutal knees, right? Like a lot of them have kind of trademark strikes and stuff they use, or Bas Rutten with his open palm strikes. It's like you're not going to stop doing it when it works, right? Like if Alistair Overeem kicks Brock Lesnar in the side or knees him and he goes down and he loses, right? It's like you're not going to stop doing that, when it works for you every time. Or if Brock's going to take you down, you expect him to stand and strike with you maybe a little bit, but he's going to want to take you down. You do what works, and that can apply in simple combat. It can apply in any other terms too. If something keeps working, you're going to basically do it until it stops working, right? So there's no reason to not drag it out. Every reason would be to drag it out. And so I wouldn't. So not only am I not surprised it's dragging out, I'm expecting it, and I'm actually surprised. Well, we'll see what happens this fall, but I would not be surprised again if we see lots more lockdowns, stuff like that, because you do what works, So if that's working for you, then you're gonna keep doing it. I don't see why you wouldn't. It doesn't work for a lot of the regular people, but if it works for those in positions of power, they're gonna keep doing it. Gary Landers, how you doing, Gary? Thanks for watching. He said, huge fan, Trav. Hope you and Jess are good. And when are we all getting a little trip? Yeah, a couple years probably, Gary. But thanks for the comment. Hopefully, if everything's okay, we'll see what happens here in the next year or two. Yeah, probably pretty soon. I think I'm going to name him Trev too, actually. Jack says, definitely caught them off guard. But yeah, Jesus should be in top 10. Yeah, it's a very good book, Josh. I agree with that 100%. Okay, what else we got? God, Snacky, Sack. That's Shacky. God, Shacky Sack 1 says, hello, Trev. Hi, God, Shacky Sack. Hello, L2. How are you? C. Benny doesn't like the digital format. He says, God, this digital format sucks. I'm still getting used to The Walking Dead's look right now, guys. It's weird for me. Like, I watch it, and sometimes I love it. Like, when they're in the tunnel and stuff, they're underneath. It's pretty awesome, I think. And like when you see the sunshine and stuff like that, it's really nice. It looks aesthetically beautiful. But one of the things it does is it makes the walkers look a little bit worse sometimes. Like when you have the digital film and it's really like super high def, sometimes the walkers don't look as good because the quality's better. So it kind of feels more fake sometimes in some ways. You know what I mean? But episode 2, I love the color palette they use in the tunnels, in the River of Woe, in the Charon. It's pretty cool. And then like the side view with Daryl and everything. People are watching it right now. So yeah. Thanks for the super chat there, Lonzo Harass. So thanks again, Lonzo, for the super chat. He said, hey, any anime or comics catching your eyes right now? Been watching since I was a kid. Keep it going, man. Well, thank you, Lonzo, for watching since you were younger. How old are you now is my question for you. And thanks for your support. So comics and anime. Yeah, I do. So I've been on kind of a retro kick the last couple years a little bit. So I've gotten into Turtles a lot. Ninja Turtles, that's cartoons, right? But they were done by, I think, which animation company did the Turtles, the retro Turtles? One of the Japanese companies did the Turtles 80s series, stuff like that. I watched Boruto a little bit, although I'm not crazy into it. I love Berserk. I hope one day we get like a really good animated version of Berserk again. We haven't had one since like the early 90s anime Berserk. Attack on Titan was pretty good. I didn't watch it all the way through, but it's pretty brutal, pretty good, I think. And let's see. Comics, I'm reading. I like Department of Truth, which is right here. I've got most of the issues. It's pretty good. It's like a conspiracy comic, which is fun. It's pretty fun. It's not amazing, but it's decent. The new Walking Dead, Rick Grimes 2000, is just silly shit, in my opinion. It's kind of fun in like a silly, fun way, but it's not like it's not something I really would pay much attention to or put money into. It's okay, but it's not great. It's like Rick with a lightsaber, and you've got like Andrea and Negan like after death, and they're like resurrected. They're fighting aliens, and there's whispers and stuff. It's okay. I like it in some ways, like Invincible. Invincible's pretty awesome right now, too. You can watch Invincible on Amazon Prime if you haven't seen it, and the comp version of that's pretty awesome. So that's kind of what I've been into for comics and anime the last couple years, Lonzo. But, you know, a lot of Turtles, stuff like that is what I've been into, and retro cartoons, retro stuff like that. But not so much like new anime. I haven't had like a new anime really catch my eyes in the last couple of years. Dragon Ball Super is pretty good, decent, but you know, I haven't had any that really I like that much, like Death Note or some of the other ones that are kind of some of my favorites. But send one through. What are you into, and did you follow up with your age here? And thanks, Jay, for the super chat. We'll get to yours in one sec. Awesome. So Lonzo is now 20. And how old were you when you started watching? And thanks for all your years of viewership. Yeah, Berserk is amazing, man. It's really one that they could take Berserk and do like an HBO series with it, and it could be as good as Game of Thrones, maybe better than Game of Thrones. Honestly, Berserk is so good. And Kentaro unfortunately passed away this year, if you didn't know, in the springtime. So that's unfortunate. He did Berserk. He was the author, like the Kirkman of Berserk. Yeah, so let me know what else you're into nowadays here, Lonzo. What's hot now? What are the hot animes now? Because I'm a little bit out of the loop for it. Jay Spot said, there is no such thing as the perfect time. Not sure what you mean there, Jay Spot. What were you referring to? No such thing as a perfect time. Perfect time to do something? Perfect time to be alive, you mean? Maybe that's true. Follow up with that. Let me know what you're referring to. But I understand what you mean, that no matter what, there's always stuff going on in the world. The news, like if you look at the news in our system, in our society, the news is kind of dreadful a lot of times because it's just full of like shock value, car crash, negativity a lot of times to get attention. And you know, it's just that's just the nature of what it is. So it's no wonder that people don't want to hear about what's happening in real life. And instead of that, they'd rather go watch anime or cartoons or a movie or video games or something fun. It's no wonder why people would shy away from the news, which is full of a lot of negativity and gloom and death and destruction. and like not pay attention to it, tune it out, and instead be more interested in the new Spider-Man movie. Doc Ock, which actually looks pretty cool, actually. But it's no wonder why people would shy away from the actual real life news stuff, because a lot of it's so negative and it's so full of just doom and gloom that people will tune it out after a while and be like, I don't want to, because it makes you feel sad after a while if you just keep following it every day. It's not good for you, actually, I would say, because the news is like flooding you with negativity, shock value negativity a lot of times. So it makes you feel like, and it's probably disproportionate too. Like no matter what, the news makes it seem like is going on in the world, it's never as bad as they make it seem like it is. They make it seem like the world is ending and all this stuff. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe that's possible. Maybe we'll see that. But it's like, I just, I don't know. Even if it was ending, like, I don't know if it's helpful to sit there and have that kind of negativity just downloaded into your mind all the time. So it's no wonder why people turn away from it. And instead of looking at that, they'd rather watch Spider-Man or whatever, right? Or Turtles or whatever. So, it's no wonder. Okay, let's see what he followed up on after that. And thanks again, Jay. Okay, what else did we get here? So we got Lonzo's. We got Josh. So Josh S. said, what the book says about presidents, it really does not matter who is the president. Yeah, you're basically right, Josh. So if you read it, you studied it, right? It shows you that it doesn't really matter so much. It's like it's almost like you're choosing the person to give you a speech, to give you the speeches, or you're choosing a figurehead. That's pretty much what it is. And I believe that's correct. I think that's the case. Yeah, that's what it is. So, they do affect some things, but, big picture, 4 years is not enough to affect the greater picture overall of what happens throughout our lives. I don't think so. San Andreas said, Trev, do you know the term conspiracy theorist was a term made popular by the CIA to combat towards critical thinkers that question the JFK assassination? Yeah, I know, San Andreas. That's right. The term conspiracy theorist was made up by the CIA. That's right. And it's pretty funny that is. But the CIA also said that, Colby said that, well, no, our disinformation campaign is complete when everything the American people think is a lie. And you can extend that not just to the States, but you can extend that to, almost every country, right? Like there's almost no country that you can think of that just runs on, actual communicated truth without propaganda. Like there's almost no country that runs on actual information without, exaggerating it, without, using it to steer the public consciousness in one way or another. That it's almost like that doesn't really exist. So they just have that negative term because they just want to basically stop people from questioning and just adhere to propaganda, right? If you want to download people's opinions to their mind, you have to get them to adhere to propaganda. And so if they don't absorb your propaganda, then you're going to not like them as much because they're going to be harder to control. In fact, they might be impossible to control because if everybody did that, then there'd be no reason to use propaganda because it wouldn't work at all. It only works if you demonize people it doesn't work on, right? So if it works on 80% or 50%, 51% is all you need for mob rules. All you need for democracy is over 50% of the people mind controlled. So if you can do that, which they can, it's more like, I think, 70, 80, 85% they can do, something like that. It might be 90% nowadays. It depends which country. Some are more disagreeable than others. Some people are more difficult to convince with propaganda what to do and how to think and what to think, what's right think, what's wrong think. But yeah, man, it's what it is. They're going to demonize people that they can't control. They don't like them as much, right? Like if somebody is actual critical thinker, if they're actually somebody who the propaganda doesn't work against on them, then obviously, that said country, any country, I'm not beating up on any particular country here, any country is going to dislike that, whether you live in China or somewhere else. It doesn't matter. Xi's not going to like it. Any other country's not going to like it either. It's the nature of what it is. So, of course, they're going to try to demonize people where, the downloaded mindset isn't taking. And they probably wonder, too, like, what is it about some people where they take so easily to it? And what is it about others that it doesn't take? Like, whatever you try to do, however you try to convince them, it just doesn't take. And I'm not sure what that is. Maybe it's in the blood. I don't know. Maybe it's like some people, that's how they are. And other people, it just won't work. Like, you try to persuasion tactics. You try to convince them. You try to coerce. You try every different, and it just doesn't work. So I don't know what it is about some people that are so easily shepherded around or so easily mind controlled, and others that it just doesn't work on at all. I don't know what it is. I'd have to research it more. I thought it was disagreeableness and agreeableness, which is one of the big 5 psychological traits that people have. So the big 5 are openness to experience, neuroticism, stability, like how nervous you get, that kind of stuff. Introversion, extroversion. So are you more to yourself? Are you more open? And then agreeableness, disagreeableness. And I'm forgetting one of the 5, which my brain is not going to allow me. I have to look it up. Anyway, there's 5. There's they call it the big 5 in psychology. So agreeableness, disagreeableness is the one where, and particularly to authority, some people are agreeable to authority, other people are not. I think it also depends if you've been in authority, because like I have been in authority for 5 to 10 years professionally. So I understand what it's like to be in authority. And I understand different ways of handling that. Like you can be a good authority where you're being genuine, being honest, and trying to do right by everybody. And you can be a bad authority where you're lying to everybody all the time, constantly. And it depends how you want to handle it. Which ones do better, it depends on the scenario, but both can be successful, both can work. And I'd almost say, from my experience, the deceptive authority is almost superior for most people than the honest authority. The honest authority that tells the truth, doesn't try to coerce, just tells you how it is and lets you decide. It's much more difficult that way to get people to agree when they have all the information, they're allowed to think for themselves. A lot of people, like from what I've seen, a lot of people can't think for themselves. They need you to tell them what to do. Like, you could give them a breakdown of half an hour of all the details and say, okay, here's our choices, X, Y, or Z. Which one do you want to do? And they'll just sit there like, what do you want me to do? Right? It's like, no, what do you want to know? What do you want me to do? Right? It's like, I don't care what you do. Just, I gave you the information. Which one do you want to do? And they won't make it. They don't want to make up a decision. They want you to tell them. And for whatever reason, that's how they are. They want you to tell them that this is the right thing to do or that's the right thing to do. They don't want to have to decide for themselves. Maybe it's because they don't want to take the responsibility on themselves to make a decision, so they outsource that responsibility to somebody else, be it a boss or, the state, the government, parents when they're younger. I don't know what to do. Mom, what do I do? Dad, what do I do? And then they have to kind of, give them the answer, right? So I don't know. It's just, it's what it is, but there's no surprise that any governing body would demonize people who aren't doing what they want them to do, right? So, yeah, or thinking the way they want them to think. So, yeah. I've also heard people, I think Peterson, I watched a video on YouTube, and I think Peterson was like, he was talking about social engineering, and he was trying to say, like, I think he was beaten up on it, or he was trying to say, like, some of his buddies he talks to are into social engineering, some of this, like some of the higher level psychologists and psychology people. And that, sometimes with social engineering, you'll get results that you don't anticipate, or you'll get results that are like, as you're doing some kind of social engineering, you're getting people to try to think a certain way, that you have to be very careful, because you might get results that you didn't anticipate at all. So you might program them to do something in particular, and you might get like something totally adjacent happens, like another variable comes in, and then they start doing something totally different from what you originally wanted them to do. But I don't know, from the research that I've seen, it kind of seems like to me it's easy peasy for most people. Granted, if everybody was like me, then yeah, it wouldn't work at all. Then you might as well say, forget it. The social engineers, you guys got to go find another job. This is not going to work, okay? But because, 60, 70, 80, 90% of people are so easily programmable, then the social engineers got as far as I'm concerned, I think they got an easy time. Now, if, like I said, if everybody was like me or like some of you guys, then forget it. They might as well find another job, right? They're gonna need one of those signs on the street. We'll work for whatever, right? We'll work for food, because they're gonna be out of work real quick. Okay, what else did we get here? New Era Mysteries and Conspiracies says you need some new subject matters if you have resorted to this. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about, New Era. You're always harping, New Era. I like you. I like you because you're pretty good with the stuff, but you're even more disagreeable than I am, New Era. Like, you're fighting with people just in the comments just for nothing, just because you just want to, right? Let's see. Gigadeath said, Trav, have you heard of Comicsgate? And have you ever thought of making your own comic? Yeah, I did. I was going to do it. In the season 6 or season 7 of Game of Thrones, I was going to make a zombie comic, but I didn't end up doing it because I got too busy with work, with overtime, and then I was doing Game of Thrones on top of it, so I decided not to do it. It was the right decision, but one day maybe I could still do it. It could be fun, but it's a lot of work, and I wouldn't want to take time off my day job or off doing this with you guys to do a comic. I'd rather work at my regular job and do this with you guys rather than writing a comic, and taking time off to do it or something. Even though it could be really fun to do, it could be cool. Let's see. AD206 said, have you seen Assassination Classroom? Silly as hell, but a fun anime series. No, I have not seen that. AD206. LD says, yeah, the Space Walking Dead is a good way to bring back characters back. Yeah, it's just silly stuff, LD. I agree. Is Ryan Otley doing that one, Invincible? He's an awesome artist, so maybe it's cool. Maybe I'll give it another try. I got to be in the mood, Like, I got to be in, like, a silly mood for Rick Grimes 2000 with all the silly stuff, because otherwise it's like, if you try to take it seriously, it's not going to work. Yeah, let's see. New Mystery says Andrew Lincoln was in Canada, where you are filming. Well, I don't think he was where I am. Pretty sure I'm probably closer to you than I am to where he was filming. Okay, let's see. Where you're filming, completely different movie. Just a few weeks ago, nothing about a Walking Dead movie. I know. That's from what I've heard. Now, there's some people who think that he is actually filming the Walking Dead movie and they're just lying about it. I don't know. I'm not sure. But maybe it's just a totally different movie. It has nothing to do with it. Leslie said, I'm on issue 179, part 6. So that's cool. Well, you don't have too far to go, and you've pretty much cleared the whole series, basically. 193 episodes. New Era said, Kirkman tweeted just this year, space spores in reference to, the virus outbreak. Complete nonsense. In his original version, the comic book had zombies originating from UFOs. Yep, that's right. Silly stuff again. He's kind of silly too, right? Kirkman's he's got a silly side to him, it seems like. But then I think his best stuff is the serious stuff, to be honest with you. Walking Dead. I think also Oblivion Song is getting adapted to a series or movie as well, I think. Yeah, I know Sma Cigar. I'm not going to name it Negan now. Ozzy said, Trav, just seen the preview of episode 4. Goddamn, Daryl looks so cool. I'm excited. Yeah, it does look really awesome, Ozzy. I agree. Yeah, it's what it is, Leslie. Yep. L2 said, Spider-Man No Way Home looks amazing. Really excited for it. Yeah, it does look really good. I love the 90s Spider-Man movies. I just got tired of Spider-Man after a while. But my favorite Marvel character is Wolverine. Love Wolverine, the X-Men, Captain America. But, Spider-Man's all right. I've got a small Marvel Legends Spider-Man collection. It's nothing crazy, but it's decent enough. But I like Doc Ock. I like some of the Spider-Man villains. I like Green Goblin. I like Doc Ock. I like the Vulture. He was really good. And Lizard was okay. Who else did we get? The others are like, it's all right. But those are some of my favorites. I feel like Green Goblin's a bit like the Joker. It's kind of like Spider-Man's Joker, sort of, in some ways. But Doc Ock is maybe Spider-Man's best villain in my opinion. I think so. Tim Robinson says, sounds like the new Matrix movie is going to be great. Hope we get a trailer soon. Yeah, we're waiting for a trailer on that. I guess there's some people who have seen the trailer for Matrix 4. Is that what it is now, Matrix 4? It's pretty cool, man. I like The Matrix. The Matrix is one of the oldest conspiracy movie. Well, maybe not one of the oldest, but one of the most recognized sort of conspiracy movies. If you look at like the red pill, blue pill idea, now they've added on the black pill. That's constantly used all the time. But yeah, I like it. I like The Matrix. It's fun. And I'm excited to see the new Matrix movie. They should just always make those movies because those are great. Okay, let's see. Okay. Lonzo said he started watching the reviews when he was 15. And anime-wise, Ju Kaisen and Tokyo Revengers are great stories. But I've been reading the Walking Dead comics recently. Okay, cool, man. Well, I have not seen either of those series, those anime series. Yeah. Okay, let's see. DV says, Trev, do you think they have handled the Negan Maggie stuff well this season? Yeah, I think so far they've done a great job with it. I think it's been awesome. I think it makes sense for them to do it, and I like that they're putting Maggie at the forefront for a while because she wasn't there for a long time. So she's back. She gets some time before the series ends. That's good. Now I'd like to see Michonne come back before the total end for Judith and RJ and the others. DV said, what's your source of information? I'm a history teacher, and I don't know if I agree. Oh, we're not going to agree on anything, DV. If you're a mainstream history teacher, we're not going to agree on shit. I can tell you that right now. Because what you actually... let's see. How do I say this? I got to be careful, DV, how I respond to you here. Because I keep getting in trouble. So I got to be really careful. I don't want to have to delete this stream. I want to keep the stream up. If you are a mainstream history teacher, what do you teach in history, DV? What grade do you teach? What level? What do you have like a specialty where you teach like World War II, World War I? Or what kind of history do you teach? Because we're not gonna agree on shit. I can tell you that right now. Not at all. Okay, let's see. So you would probably teach, like, if you're teaching a curriculum in either grade school, high school, or shit, even college or university, really. It's going to be an approved history, right? An approved version of history, which is actually, depends what you mean by truth, but I'd say it's not actually true. There's propaganda in it that you might not be aware of. Anyway, I'll just stop there because I keep having to delete my streams because I go too far and then I get in trouble. Okay, let's see. Leslie says dictators use propaganda to spread their agenda, e.g. Hitler and Stalin. Yeah, but we do too. That's the thing. That's what people don't realize. See, people like maybe DV as well if he's a history teacher, and I don't want to beat up on him or anything like that. That's not the point of what we're doing here. But it's very difficult when you're in a system to realize that the system you're in is using propaganda on you. And we live in a system which has the greatest propaganda ever created. It's the most in terms of volume. It has the most sources. It's the most professionally done. It's the best quality, just in terms of like your TV specials, your video, your music, your news, your media. It's the best. It's the best brainwashing that's ever been performed on people, I would say. So we are more, but it's difficult when you're in that system to realize you're in that system. So if you lived in Russia when Stalin was in, or if you lived in Germany when the Fuhrer was getting going, it would be very difficult for you to see that you were under that propaganda. And so people on our side are the most propagandized ever because they think they're free. And when you investigate that, you realize that, okay, yeah, that's actually propaganda. You're not at all, actually. So you are the most propagandized ever because you're in a system and it's very difficult for you to like step outside that matrix and to see it from the outside and to realize that, oh, that's why they did that. Okay, now I get it. So anyway, that's all I'll say for that. But it's very difficult for you as a citizen to view your own system and realize that parts of it are a work. And if you haven't studied that and really gone through that, you won't see it right away, especially if you're teaching the mainstream stuff that they've assigned to you to teach, that they've given to you to teach. And when I say they, I mean the people that authorize the curriculum. Depends where you live, which country you're in, what you're teaching. But usually, a lot of times, you can go right up to UN influence and others that are involved there too. Or a lot of them just design their curriculum around what's known and what's published by, certain societies. Depends how far back you want to go. Okay, let's see. What else did we get here? All right. Okay. Yeah, JetSpot got you there, DB. He got you good, right? see, JSpot actually knows, right? It's very, listen. It's very difficult to realize you're in a system that is pretty much the same as those other systems. Pretty much. I mean, it's even better. It's superior. But it's very difficult to realize that you're in that system, the same as a lot of the other people. Just the people are different who are orchestrating or who are in charge of the system, but you're still in a similar type of system. Okay, let's see. WebSoak liked The Walking Dead today. That's good. Let's see. Yeah, Netflix. Ozzy's got it. So Netflix is absolutely a propaganda download for people. One of the best ever. One of the best that's ever been designed. Every series is going to toe the line. I mean, I'd almost wonder if there was a series that didn't toe the line, it wouldn't be allowed on, right? Like you wouldn't see it on Netflix. It would be deleted or removed right away. It just wouldn't get on it at all. Okay, let's see. Okay, so DV says, one thing I know, people are more willing to believe facts to reinforce their worldview. Well, it depends what you mean by facts even. Because it depends. Like, if you say a fact, what is a fact? And really, what a fact is when people at the top of a system agree that something is legitimate, like Kissinger, legitimacy, right? This is legitimate, this has legitimacy, so teach them all this. It just means that people at the top of the system agreed that this is what the public should be told about any certain situation, any circumstance, right? So that's what a fact is. But even the idea of a fact has to be smashed. You got to break it against something. Take facts and break them against something, because facts are not necessarily true. Okay? Just because society believes something and thinks it's a fact doesn't make it true. And there's lots of facts that we teach in our system that if you investigate them, you'll find out, holy shit, that's not true at all. And there's tons of them. But if you haven't researched any of them, oh boy, you got a lot of work ahead of you. But I don't think you'll want to do it, because it also might not make you feel good to do the research and to find out how it actually fits together. But I agree with what you're saying, that sometimes people believe what they want to believe because it makes them feel good. Like the moon landings. So, like, people will believe it because it makes them feel good. Like, yeah, we did it, so it's whatever. And they'll accept it as a fact. They'll say, okay, that's a fact that we did this, even though it's like, okay. All right, let's see. Anyway, let's see. What do we get here? What did he say? Okay. Okay, let's see. I'll try. I don't want to give all the attention just to DV. Let's spread it around here. We'll come back to him maybe in a little bit. He wants more drinking and thinking. I actually don't really drink right now. I've got grape drink, right? Orange drink, grape drink. Maybe we'll have some of this soon. But I don't really drink alcohol nowadays at all. I haven't drank since that last episode we did, which was like 2 or 3 years ago. I should start again. Maybe I'll get in less trouble if I'm drinking more. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, let's see. All right. Oh, The Last of Us TV series. Yeah, Eric, that's going to be good. I'm excited for it. LD said, Kirkman is a great talent, but he's been kind of silly lately. Yeah, I know. Good on the guy, having fun, but the serious stuff is the best work. I agree with you, LD, 100%. I love Kirkman's work. All of it's great. Invincible's great, too. Some people love the silly stuff. They're just kind of silly people. Kevin Smith is kind of similar like that, right? He's kind of one of those silly type guys. But, well, he's actually genuinely really funny, too. I feel like there's some I feel like there's some similarities between Kevin Smith and Kirkman. But yeah, I'd like to see Kirkman do something with Walking Dead. I don't think he's ever really going to do anything seriously with Walking Dead again. He's just going to do fun stuff. Oblivion Song, though, could be good if it gets adapted. And we'll see what else he wants to do. It's up to him now. He doesn't have to do anything. He could just retire. But we'll see what he wants to do. Okay. Dr. Death says, Spider-Man and Batman both are popular for their own villain rogues. Yeah, I agree, Dr. Death. Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogues galleries of any characters. But I would say that, in my opinion anyway, Batman has the greatest rogues villain set. It's like, one of the oldest. Joker, the greatest villain in comics. The Man Who Laughs. He's based off the old English Man Who Laughs is the Joker. So, yeah, Batman's got the best rogues gallery of any character in comics, I think. Spider-Man's got a really good one as well too. He's got some cool ones, the Goblins and such, Sinister Six. Yeah, he's got a bunch of them, but Batman's the best, I think. Let's see. Maurice, the Xbot, said, Trev, I think Zack Snyder was a treasure, but he was too much for Warner Brothers. Snyder's Darkseid was amazing. He planned to make an Injustice movie, but WD ditched his universe. That sucks, man. That could have been really cool. That's unfortunate. I think he did a pretty good job, as best as he could do. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? All you can do is the best you can based on what the network wants to do, what they give you, which characters they want to put in it, whatever. So, but I like Zack Snyder. His Dead movies have been really good, too. Army of the Dead, really fun, and I appreciate it. And some of the older Dawn of the Dead and stuff he did, too. Is Black Summer worth watching? LD, skip through it if you want to watch it. I wouldn't say Black Summer's worth watching. It's worth skipping through. That's about it. It's not like amazing or anything. It's worth skipping through it. That's it. Is it as good as Walking Dead? No, not even close. It's not even the same. It's not even the same stadium, I'll say it that way, as Walking Dead. It's just okay, for me anyway. Kelly said Aot was a good anime. Shows a lot of social engineering. Well, that's cool. I have to check that out, Kelly. I haven't seen it. DV says, I'm not a mainstream history teacher. I teach with primary sources at all levels, U.S. history, Asian history, economics, psychology, etc. Is that a university or is that high school? Or primary? What did you say? Primary school? What grade? What grade do you teach, DV? That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, Kelly's got it right. History equals his story. That's right. History is his story. Yeah, and I know the people who wrote it too. So I'm just gonna stop there. The people at the top of our system are the ones who write the history, and then everybody else just Although I heard that in China they teach the moon landings were fake. Did you guys know that? I heard that. I don't know if it's true. I haven't been to China recently. But I'm pretty sure, I've heard anyway, that in China they officially teach that the moon landings were actually fake and that they want to do it for real. So that's kind of funny if that's true. I don't know if that's true or not. I have to look into it first. But that's kind of, maybe, it's also possible that maybe they think in China, like, just about everybody knows the moon landings are fake there. But they they kind of put it in, but they kind of like all sort of hint like, yeah, whatever. Like so. Because DV, if you're in school, you have to teach that they were real, right? Like just to go to one, and I don't want to cause a problem or anything, but just to use as an example of one that people think is true, but if you investigate it, you'll find like, okay. It's one of the easiest ones to crack, I think. So do you have to teach that was real as a fact? And that it was actually real as a fact? Like, really? Let me know about that one. We're having too much trouble again. I'm going to get in trouble again. Okay, let's see. Not approved by anybody but me. Well, I think you should be your own, as far as what you accept to be real and not, and true or false. Yeah, you should probably be your own authority on that. I agree. But don't be afraid to learn more. Because if you've got a bad conclusion, adding more information may show that possibly the conclusion you have could be wrong. Because sometimes you can be wrong, so you have to add more information, and keep going, and then see what you find. Okay, let's see. All right. Eric says, "Dude always skips." Do you mean me? Are you? My name is Trevor. Are you talking to me, Eric? Eric Hughes says, dude always gets my question asked 3 times here and for the last few years. It's an actual... Well, you didn't... So here's what you said, Eric. So I get hundreds of comments during these streams, right? Like maybe 200 or 300 or 400 comments, right? And I try to get as many as I can. The comment that I picked up from you, Eric, instead of you asking your question, was just for you to bitch about how I don't pick your question. So now I kind of feel like, should I go and get his question? It's probably somewhere in here somewhere. Or should I just be a jerk and skip it? Right? It's like, well, I'm Canadian, so I guess I'll try to find it. Where's Eric, who's whining's question? You said Last of Us TV series. That's not a question. Eric, if you just say Last of Us TV series, that is not a question. That is a statement. That is a like what am I going to do with that? Yes, I'm excited for the Last of Us TV series. Yes, I've done some videos on it already. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be fun. I don't know what else you want me to say aside from that. I think you're just wanting to get attention. Maybe that's how you get attention from your parents or something, right? If you whine a bunch, then your parents pay attention to you. Is that how it worked? Okay, let's see. The media lies about everything. Yeah, they do, San Andreas. That's right. Pretty much. Dr. Death says, Judith says, my mom always comes back. Foreshadowing, Michonne will be back. I think so, yeah. Foreshadowing that Michonne will return. Okay, let's see. DV said, been through a variety of public and private schools. Okay. I'm aware of slanted curriculum, but good teachers always find a way through. Yeah, I'm not saying what you're doing, DV, is a bad thing necessarily. Being a teacher is a good profession. You can only go so far with it, though, right? Like you can't, if you had to teach, like let's say you had to teach the moon landings or something, depending if you live in the States especially, they're going to force you to teach that actually was legit, right? You're not going to be able to question it or actually teach the opposite. So you're going to have to play the game. But I guess what you could do is you could kind of try to incite, curiosity into the students, right? So you can try to make them more curious about some of these different things that we accept as truths, so that they can maybe later on in life, if you've taught them to be a little bit more curious and willing to, purchase, go after other information to get more, to add to it, then you can kind of get them maybe started with becoming an inquisitive, investigative type of person. So that's what I would do if I was maybe a teacher. I thought about being a teacher, but I decided, no, I don't want to do that. Making too much money, forget that. LD said, what about, okay, so thank you, Boogie. Have yourself a great night. And I'm sorry, Boogie. I know, man. I know. I'm sorry, man. Take care of yourself, Boogie. That's all I can say, man. I don't have much more to say about it than that. DV, people respond to incentives. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They do what they're paid to do. Yeah, and the man who pays them. That's right. Black Summer has very cool zombies, but the story, says Dr. Death, decision making of characters is just awful. Yeah, Black Summer is not that. It's not that awesome. It's just okay. It's decent. It's some of it's pretty cool, but it's not amazing or anything. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, keep learning, DV. There might be a lot there you could learn. Get on Amazon, start buying a bunch of books and go through them all. If you're a teacher, you shouldn't have any problem doing that. And then just get a pad and start writing down. Take to task which ones you think might be true and which ones aren't. Buy a bunch of shit, and don't be cheap about it. If you want to get really good information, buy it. Don't be cheap, buy it. Spend the money to get it and do your own investigation. That's what I would recommend. The same way as I said, for you as a teacher to try to incite an investigative spirit in your students, I would ask the same of you. I think that's a good way to go. Okay, let's see. Really, web soaked? Did they? That's funny. That makes me laugh. Okay, let's see what else we say here. Yeah, I know Dr. Death, they say they don't, but they absolutely do, right? I know it's a lie. They're just trying to be cool, right? They're just trying to be like, no, I don't trust them. But oh yeah, I got the yeah. Oh yeah, of course. You didn't? It's like it's like people know Dr. Death. People know when they're supposed to be like in opposition to it to be cool, and then they know when they're supposed to not be because it's not cool, right? It's like they know. It's like they implicitly know when to be controlled opposition to it and be like, I'm not down with that, right? It's like, but we're doing. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Up here near Canada, once the grocery store change will accept Bitcoin at their ATM. That'd be cool, Shaq, if they could accept it. But I don't know. I don't know about Bitcoin. That's one that I gotta investigate that one a lot more. I don't know that much about Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure I knew who created it or who was involved with creating it. I've got a pretty good idea. But I don't know if it's something that's going to be in the future is going to be allowed, or if governments are going to have their own social credit score system and their own cryptocurrency. I mean, trying to tell the future is difficult, right? But I guess we'll see how it all works out. But I hope that Bitcoin is around for good, and I hope that it does very well. Okay, Dr. Death said, Episode 3 is awesome. The Reapers will deliver deaths the Whisperers did not. Yeah, the Reapers are pretty sweet. I agree. Okay. Yep. Thanks for watching, DV. Appreciate your watching. San Andreas wants more Q&A videos. Well, I guess we could, San Andreas, if you want to. Yes, that's right, Dr. Death. People do love their Matrix. It's what it is. But, see, what can you do in a Matrix that you can't do for real? You can achieve things in a Matrix, and you can be the good guy when you're not, right? You can be the good guy in a Matrix when you're actually not the good guy, right? So you can pretend to be a good guy and people will buy it, right? Like the idea that we're always the good guys no matter what happens in any given war or any given situation. We're always the good guys. That would be a fact that we're the good. Like you could look at that as a fact that we're always the good guys, right? And we're never the aggressor, and we never like go to a country just to like take their shit. Resources or anything like that never happens, right? In a Matrix, like we're always there to promote freedom and to help them, right? Like that's Matrix think, right? So people like it because it makes them feel good about themselves, because then they can say, well, we're there for humanitarian reasons, and we're there to be the good guys, and we're doing this for that, and we would never do that. Someone else must have done it. Oh, it's that guy. Go get him. Like you can do things with a Matrix that without one, if people just knew all the details right away, they wouldn't feel so good about it. So definitely there are psychological benefits to being in a Matrix system, because you get to always be the good guy no matter what, and you get to do the right thing even when you're doing the wrong thing. So you do the wrong thing, but then the Matrix shows your citizens that you're doing the right thing. So you get to always be the good guy. So the Matrix has tons of benefits to the people. They always get to be the good guy. They always get to achieve. They don't fail as much, right? If they can't do something, they don't have to admit it. They can fake it. And so you can do all this stuff in a Matrix. If you had to do it, like if you were living for real, 100% legit, and people knew the truth about absolutely everything, they wouldn't feel so good. So, it does benefit the people as well, even though it's deceptive. But just because, even though it is deceptive, it still is beneficial for them, right? For guilt and things like that, it can alleviate that too. Yeah. It allows for more optimism, right? People even lie. Think about deceptiveness in human nature. People even lie to themselves when they do something that, was for whatever. Later on, they'll tell themselves, well, I did it because of whatever. They'll justify it to themselves. They'll rationalize it as a defense mechanism to themselves so they can feel better. So a Matrix allows for a societal, what can we say? A Matrix allows for a societal rationalization as a defense mechanism. A societal rationalization, especially when it comes to war and when it comes to, human suffering. It allows for rationalization of a whole country or a whole society. That's what a Matrix can do. And that's why, basically every system is pretty much going to have one. You're never going to tell all your citizens the truth about everything all the time, every time. that would also make you very susceptible to others if a country didn't have any secrecy at all. Other countries would find out their trade secrets, would find out who they are. They'd know their enemy through 100%, and they'd be able to take liberties with them, right? So, yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not being specific. You can fill in the blanks, Susan, and to the others. I'm not specifically referring to any particular thing that's going on right now. I'm simply speaking in terms of a design aspect, like a functional block, if you will, of society, which is your matrix, what you think of as your matrix that your citizens are in. And I'm not necessarily referring to any specific thing that's happening right now. That's not. I'm speaking in general of having a system where the public opinion is to be managed, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about particularly like what's happening right now or whether I agree or disagree with anything. I'm just trying to illustrate that it's intuitive that it is correct that public opinion will be managed in a matrix-style system. Always, basically. Because the truth is harsh. It's like the saying from the movie, right? You can't handle the truth, right? Is what he says. What does he say? You want the truth, or you can't handle the truth. Well, people can't, right? And they don't want it anyway. So why would you expect that the world runs on it when people don't even like it? And you tell them that they don't even want to hear it. They don't even want to know, right? They want to rationalize and make up some story so that they get to absolve themselves of guilt if they did something that was bad or whatever, and then they can feel better about it, right? So, so that's what I'm doing. I'm not referring to a specific incident here or something in particular. Okay, let's see. Ozzy said, didn't Kevin Smith ruin the Masters of the Universe? Well, I don't know if Kev ruined Masters. I mean, we'll see what they do with that TV series, Revelations, if they do anything else with it. But Revelations was not very good. I have to agree with that. It didn't turn out all that good. Even though I do like Buffy as Tila, that was great. The casting was awesome. You had like the best voice acting crew ever. But, I don't know, man. Again, it's Netflix, agendas. What do you want? Are you allowed to have He-Man in 2021? He's like blonde. He's got huge muscles. He's masculine. Are you allowed to do that now? Apparently not. So that might not have been Kev's fault. Netflix might have said, hey, what are you doing with this He-Man guy? That's, white supremacy or something? He-Man's a white supremacist. Why are his muscles so big? Why you got to make He-Man gay or kill him or something? I don't know. Tila's got to be the hero now, right? It's 2021. What the hell, man? You're not allowed to do that anymore. Don't you know? Don't you know the social engineering agendas that are playing out right now? You're not allowed to be a masculine Caucasian guy. That's not allowed anymore. And call yourself He-Man? Isn't that a little sexist? He-Man? I don't think so, right? Oh, what can you do, man? It's 2021. What can you do? He-Man, not allowed. Okay, let's see. What else we got here? Attack on Titan. We got a bunch of people laughing. What did I say that was funny? I don't know. I said a bunch of stuff. Okay. Thanks for the super chat there, Dr. Death. I appreciate it. And thank you, DV. Appreciate it. Give me one, DV, that you think might be true or not. I'll tell you whether or not it is. Okay? Thanks for the super chat. Give me one. Is there one conspiracy that you thought might be true or might be false? Give it to me. I want to know. You can do aliens if you want to be safe. We could do that if you want. Because I'm pretty sure I've nailed that one 100%. Okay, let's see. All right. I don't know. I don't even know what's going on right now. Trev, will we just see character Norman Reedus play as yeah. LD, when Daryl has his new show, when Norman Reedus has his next series, his Western series, he's just going to be Daryl 2.0. That's it. That's what it is. He'd be a good Wolverine. If Marvel's ever casting for Wolverine, he should go for it. Norman Reedus should go for it. Send it to somebody at Marvel send tape for it. Because after Hugh Jackman, it's going to be hard to find somebody who's badass like that enough to play Wolverine. I think Norman Reedus could be an awesome Wolverine. And you might say, well, he's older and stuff, but you got to understand, Wolverine's like 100 or something. He's like over 100 years old because he's like from World War I, but he heals so he doesn't age the same way. Norman Reedus would be an awesome Wolverine, man. He should definitely... I think he wanted to do Ghost Rider, but Wolverine rides a motorcycle too. So, yeah, he should definitely look into that. See, because they have a problem to crack. How do you get a Wolverine after Hugh Jackman? Who do you put in? That's going to be very difficult to find somebody to be Wolverine after Hugh Jackman. But I think that Norman Reedus could do a great job at it, man. About as good as anybody could, right? So, let's see. Have you heard from Robert Frank? C. Benny. I think he was in a live stream a couple weeks ago. I thought he was okay. He had surgery and stuff, so I think he's all right. I hope he's okay. Heart goes out to him. I think he's all right, but I don't know. I have to check his channel. He's got an awesome YouTube channel. I have to check it out and see how he's doing. Okay, let's see. All right. I'm just checking to see what you guys said now. Trying to keep up with all you dudes, man. And thanks for joining, everybody. I do appreciate it. Walking Dead new episode should be over soon. So maybe... Oh, Kelly wants to talk about Chrome. Well, it does... Kelly, it does freak me out that Google Chrome is called Google Chrome, considering adrenochrome and that kind of stuff. I don't know. You know, that's a tricky one. That's like vampirism is what you're talking about, right? Basically, you're talking about real-life vampirism. Vamps, basically. Vampires. I don't know if they actually do that. I wouldn't be too surprised if they actually did, but I just think it's so evil that my mind wants to snap myself into the Matrix and say, no, that's just whatever. But maybe they do that stuff. I mean, it's so dark, it's just like, wow, I don't even want to go there. My mind doesn't even want to think about it because it's so, like, dark. Maybe they do. I don't know, man. I mean, it's so... thanks for asking, Kelly, but I don't know. You know, I really, really don't know. It's so... Those are so dark, I don't even want to research them. I've heard people say that they do that kind of stuff, and it like the adrenaline or something that they take in makes them like, you know, it's like, I don't know. It's like the highest drug ever. I don't know. But... I don't know if it's actually true or not. See, that goes into one where you can't really easily prove it, and you have to be a pretty dark person to want to even research that. So I never researched it. I don't know. But the fact that Google is called Google Chrome kind of freaks me out a little bit. And it's a 666. That kind of freaks me out a little bit. Okay, what else did we get here? All right. Yeah. Okay, I'm just reading your guys. Jay said, I'd be shocked if Rick and Michonne didn't return, at least in the series finale. Yeah, man, that'd be great if Andrew Lincoln could come back for, like, the final episode, and that would be the final episode. That would, like, make The Walking Dead perfect. Like, if he just came back for the very last episode with Michonne, that could be, like, the series-ending moment right there. That would be fantastic. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. WebSoak said, I noticed The Walking Dead has gone subtly woke. I don't know, WebSoak. I like to think of Walking Dead as, you know, usually doesn't have much of the social engineering stuff in it. Not like a Netflix series or something. So it's pretty good. Obviously, they're going to get some pressure to do certain things. So we have to understand. And, you know... There's nothing wrong with having certain woke elements in a series. I think that's fine. I just think that it's gotten like overdone on the Netflix shows and on the other stuff where it's like it doesn't have to be center frame every single time. So I think Walking Dead does a good job. I don't think they go too woke or anything like that. Even Fear as well too does fine. And I'm not too you know, mad at it or anything. Yeah, okay, let's see what else. Hey, Becca, how you doing? Says she's just joining. I just finished the 3rd episode. Thanks to you, I was convinced to get AMC Plus. Oh, awesome, Becca. I'm glad I talked you into it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Awesome stuff. Christian Lee says, damn, man, I used to watch your videos all the time, but I went off The Walking Dead for a little while, hence why I stopped watching the channel. I'm just getting back into it now. Watching you is nostalgic. Well, it looks a little different, Christian, but thanks for watching. The background is mostly the same. We got a Whisperer mask over here. We got turtles over there. We got a logo here now. That's new. And then we got a bunch of All-Seeing Eyes and New World Order stuff up here. And a Guardian Angel here, which is good. Makes me feel better with all the threatening phone calls I get. And then we got a one-eye ball right here, which is kind of fun. That's a new one. So yeah, everything else pretty much the same. Walking Dead's good, and yeah, everything's fun. Okay, let's see. And thanks for watching. Kelly said, I don't care watching a fake TV show about who killed the most. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's gets to be a bit much. Yeah, Klaus Schmidt. Your name scares me, Klaus. Your name is Klaus Schmidt. Just the name Klaus scares me right now. It's like freaky shit. We all this is the time. Have you ever done a reaction video? Yeah, lots of them. But it's not my main thing. I find them to be easy to do and kind of, you know, just what it is. Oh, thank you, Dr. Death. I appreciate for you paying for the grape drink. I do appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Thank you for the grape drink. Let's see. Kelly says U.S. and UK have more. Yeah, Kelly, the U.S. and UK have invaded countries and stole people's resources. I don't want to read the rest of what you said here. I'm gonna get in trouble again. Okay, let's see. Israel Albaran says, "Hey Trav, what's up from Allentown, Pennsylvania?" Oh, that's cool. Do you think, or you think, go Andrew Lincoln, go the new series Day of the Dead and the Sci-Fi Channel? I love your videos. Well, thank you. Yeah, Day of the Dead is going to be great. I'm excited for it. I got some pictures of it, but they didn't tell me if I could show them or not. The Day of the Dead team sent me some stuff, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty damn cool. It should be fun. I like it, so it's going to be good, and I'm going to review it for sure. And I appreciate it, and it's fun. So that'll be good. Can't wait to see Rick back at some point, whether it's in the final episode or in the movies. Either one's going to be great. And let's see what else we got. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I went down a bunch. Thank you guys for all the comments tonight. It's good. It keeps us going here. Yeah, San Andreas says, which conspiracy interests you the most? I don't know, San Andreas. You know, I switched from one to another after, you know, a little while. After I figured, once I figured one out, I feel like, okay, I got it, and then I can move on to another one. And so, you know, I look at each one for maybe a little while. I got stuck on Flat Earth for a long time. It took me like 6 to 8 months to go through Flat Earth. Longer than Aliens. Aliens was actually pretty easy. Flat Earth was like, wow, this is really, really hard. Like, to go through it all and to understand everything about it. There's a lot to it. So that one's probably the most complicated one. But my favorite one, maybe I won't say, actually. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I just won't say. Okay, let's see. Kelly says, just make He-Man a beta male. People will be okay with that. Yeah, or just kill him, right? That's even better. Let's just kill him. How many times do you want to kill him? Once? What do you mean? More? No, let's kill him twice. Let's do that. In the first season? Yeah, in the first season. Kill him twice in the first season. We'll kill him, we'll bring him back to life, and then we'll kill him again. It's like, he wasn't dead enough the first time? No, he's He-Man. It's 2021. Let's get rid of him, right? Not allowed. Okay, lest they do... Okay, I won't say the rest. All right. Yeah, maybe it's true, Kelly. I don't know about that one, yeah. Maurice wants to know if we'll play the TMNT game. Oh, yeah, man. I can't wait to play the new TMNT games. We'll do some videos on that. We'll record that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And there's, I think Nickelodeon has a battle game with, like, Leonardo, Michelangelo, and April in it, too. There's all kinds of fun stuff coming up for Turtles, man. I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. And Shredder's Revenge is going to be great. So, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, LD, I saw in Walking Dead the America Hates Our sign in Walking Dead. I thought that was really cool. Because they're in Washington, and when everything goes to shit, that always comes up. Tribalism always comes up every time. So I like that they put it in there in Walking Dead. That was really cool. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, it was good because that's what would happen. So yeah, is it Websoak? Yeah, I don't. It's not that. It's his first name is Klaus. That's what freaks me out. Okay, traveling is freedom. How you doing, man? How's it going? LD says, Trav, do you think there's any chance Walking Dead World Beyond could turn itself around. No. No. I mean, it can be all right, but it's basically Walking Dead woke. That's the thing. Yeah, Karen likes TMNT too. Oh, yeah, we all love TMNT. Yeah. Uh-huh. There's going to be, I think Seth Rogen was working on something TMNT. Let's see if he gets it done and we get to see that, like a movie, a new TMNT movie or something, which could be awesome. There's a character in the second TMNT movie. What was it called? The most recent one that wasn't very good. Unfortunately, the recent TMNT movies were not that good. The live action ones with Megan Fox, those were not that good. So, but yeah, there was a character in it named Trevor, which is kind of cool. I like that. But yeah, the movies weren't that good, unfortunately. I want to see like an 80s TMNT or 90s TMNT style movie done again. Something like that. The cartoon or the regular, whichever one. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Robert Salemo said, check out the plot to overthrow FDR on the old History Channel. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be too interested in it. You know, it sounds okay. But, yeah, I haven't seen that one. Sorry, man. Okay, let's see. I'm starting to get tired, dudes. We might have to wrap soon. Okay. DV said, what about the financial motives of people who speak conspiracy theories? Nobody's exempt, even if they're against the main narrative. Okay, how do I say this? There are huge financial incentives for people to do conspiracy stuff, but not in the way you're thinking. Because you're probably thinking that there are incentives for them to do it for their own financial gain, just by themselves, independent. And actually, that's an opposite. If you do it for real, you get in trouble. Pretty, like a lot. The best people in the world at it there's huge financial incentives, but not for the reason why you think. It's because they're controlled opposition. So a lot of them are getting paychecks, that's why, from the system. So maybe they run around and act like fools or whatever, act like doofuses and shit like this. Yeah, that's their job. That's what they're paid to do. I'm telling you, DV, this is such a fun space to investigate. If you want to do it, you can do it. There are huge incentives if you back up the mainstream narrative. If you don't back up the mainstream narrative, DV, not only are there not incentives, it can be very, very bad for you. Let's put it that way. Very bad. But if you do the alien stuff, you're fine. You can make money on that. They like that. What else? Yeah. You know, there's certain approved ones. There's a list of approved ones. If you do the list of approved ones, then yeah, you're fine. But that's all I'll say. Maybe that's enough to get you started. But a lot of times, I think the funny thing is with this stuff is a lot of times people actually go, if it's a one-way street, it's like they drive the exact wrong way down the street. Like they think that it's, like thinking that if someone did it independently, that it would be beneficial for them financially to do it. And usually it ruins their life. Usually. Like it ruins everything. Like everything. I think, what did Bart Sobrell say? They cut his pension? I think he said they cut his pension. So like his old age pension or whatever. I don't think he gets as much as he's supposed to get because they made sure like he wouldn't get, because he went against the system. So there's certain approved conspiracies that if you do them and you go with the system, then you'll get rewarded financially. And there's certain ones that if you don't, then you don't. So it depends which way you go with it. If there's huge incentives if you go along with the mainstream system, and sometimes the mainstream system may be surprising to you. Like the alien stuff, people think the alien stuff is anti-establishment. No, it's not. The alien stuff is establishment. That's exactly what it is. But if you go against it, then they don't really like it that much. But it's kind of harmless in a lot of ways, so it's not too bad. Okay, what else do we get here? Any good books recently? The one I mentioned last week, but I had to take the stream down, so unfortunately we won't mention that one again. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Just that one last week. I haven't bought any others right now. Let me see if I have any others around me that are okay. I got the Bible here, so this is pretty cool. I'm going through this again, so that's always good to go through, right? So that's cool. Other one here that I mentioned last week, which I won't show again. And that's about it, man. So I think new episode of Walking Dead. It takes a lot of work, DV. A lot of work. But almost, You know what, DV? I better stop. I better stop right there. You're gonna be surprised what you'll find if you go into this. You're gonna find everything you think is backwards, pretty much. Almost everybody is controlled. Almost everybody. I am. So there you go. Right? Like if I do a bunch of stuff that they don't like, I gotta take it down. I gotta go in and delete it. If I don't, well, okay. That's not good. So everything you think you know, DV, is backwards. I'm telling you right now. But it's okay. You don't have to. Maybe I should. You know what? I'm going to be quiet. Okay. You do whatever you want. Okay. I don't care. Yeah. I agree, Mike. It's good stuff for sure. Yeah. Robert says aliens are government psyop to misdirect people on new military technology. It's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah. Pretty much. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Dudes, I think we should wrap. Yeah, it does. It does, Kelly. That's right. Very, very deep. Deeper than you'd realize or than most people would think. It sounds to me like you are, based on what you're saying. I can tell by what you're saying that you're just getting going. But keep going and research controlled opposition for a while. Don't skip it. Go into it in detail. And take 6 months, take a year, go through controlled opposition. It may blow your mind. So yeah, take your time with it. Don't skip it. Am I CIA? No, I'm not. No, I'm not CIA. No, I'm not. Okay. Let's see. Thoughts on new Spider-Man trailer Reload? It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been too big into the MCU stuff the last couple years. But you know, I love the retro Spider-Man stuff. It does look fun, man. It looks really good, and it's like once Disney bought Marvel, they could do no wrong. Like once Disney has it, they can just do. They do absolutely no. They can't do anything wrong. Everything they do just works. Yeah, Josh liked the episode. Yeah, it was good. Did you watch episode 2 or 3, Josh? Which one did you watch now? So yeah, I know. Yeah, The Simpsons is really cool, Cal. It's got all kinds of cool stuff in it. I love The Simpsons. Yeah, really fun. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Project Bluebeam, San Andreas. Well, eventually they probably will. I think they will do that at some point. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Well, DV, how do I say this? Almost everybody is controlled in the system. Everybody on TV is controlled, DV. Everybody on TV is pretty much controlled opposition. If you don't know that, then you're an amateur. Yeah, because everybody knows that. Everybody in the business knows it. So if you don't know that, you're not advanced at this. You're like basic of the basic. Well, you can disagree, but I know you're wrong. That's all I'm telling you is that when it comes to that, you're absolutely wrong. It's a big club, DV. And you ain't in it, brother. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, that's it. That's all it is. So, yeah, maybe you're too comfortable with yours because I'm telling you that's not how it works, man. You can't just go on TV and just say whatever you want, DV. If you think that's the case, you are quite mistaken. It is absolutely not the case. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's do some Walking Dead stuff before we wrap up. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna get heated here. It's actually like, oh man, it's hot in here, like 32 degrees, something like that. So let's see. All right, dudes. Well, we had a new episode of Walking Dead tonight. It was fun. Did the review earlier. It's in the channel if you want to see it. Did our top 10 Walking Dead characters and got to hang out for a bit. So I think that's probably good for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Hope I don't have to delete this later, although I might have to. We'll see. And aside from that, have yourselves, yep, Giga Death got it. Let's end on that one. Yeah, it's a big club, and you ain't in it. And see, George Carlin knew basically everything about it. See, DV, you're the opposite of a George Carlin. George Carlin knew how it worked. He knew the system because he had traveled around. He had met so many people. He had been told. He knew what Shriners were. He knew, he knew everything. If you don't know that, then yeah, I'm sorry, man, but you've got a lot there to learn. But if you don't want to know, then that's a different stance, and that's fine. If you don't, then you don't. That's all there is to it. Thank you, Dan. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you liked the new episodes of Web. I don't I don't know if you want to do that, Web. That's up to you, Web. I don't know. That's your choice, man. All right, guys. Have yourselves a good night. Thanks for watching. Hope you like new episodes of Walking Dead. And I'll see you guys back in soon, probably in a couple days. I'll have a new video for you guys soon. There's some new Walking Dead figures we should go into soon, maybe in a couple days. Thanks.